Deep in the heart of an ancient forest, where the moss hung thick from the old oaks and the streams whispered secrets, lived a cunning wolf with a coat as dark as midnight. His eyes were sharp and gleamed with hunger. For many moons, he had struggled to catch enough prey to fill his belly. The animals had grown wary of his scent and quick feet. So, he decided to use a different kind of trap, not one of claws or teeth, but of clever deceit. One day, the wolf climbed onto a flat mossy rock beneath a towering tree. He spread out a faded old blanket and set upon it a stack of dried leaves and cracked acorns, pretending they were sacred texts. With a slow, solemn voice, he called out to the creatures of the forest, "Come, all who seek wisdom! I am the sage of the woods, possessor of ancient knowledge. Ask your questions, and I shall guide you." And the wolf tilted back his head and closed his golden eyes, trying to look as dignified as possible. Soon, curious animals began to gather. A nervous squirrel inched closer, clutching a pine cone in his tiny paws. "Oh, wise sage," the squirrel asked timidly, "how can I store enough food for the winter?" The wolf cracked one eye open. He pretended to ponder deeply. "Gather all the nuts you can find," he said, voice low and rumbling. "But leave them in a clearing I will show you. I shall watch over them to protect them." The squirrel nodded gratefully and scurried away to follow his instructions. The wolf licked his lips, imagining the feast he would have later. Soon, a shy hedgehog stepped forward. "Great sage," the hedgehog mumbled. "How do I avoid the fox who chases me every dawn?" The wolf stifled a grin. "You must come sit near my rock every morning," he intoned solemnly. "My presence will frighten the fox away." More animals lined up with questions. The wolf, hidden behind his false wisdom, tricked each of them into trusting him. One by one, they carried food to his chosen clearing or agreed to gather near his rock where he could catch them easily. His plan was working perfectly, but not everyone believed his tales. Watching from a patch of ferns was a small rabbit with bright eyes and a quick mind. She had always listened more carefully than she spoke, and something about this, sage, made her whiskers twitch. When the animals began to leave, the rabbit hopped forward and bowed low before the wolf. "O wise and learned sage," she began, her voice sweet and polite, "I have heard you hold the answers to every riddle." The wolf lifted his chin proudly. "Indeed, little one. Ask your question." The rabbit flicked her ears. "Long ago, my grandmother told me of a hidden plant deep in the forest. Whoever eats it becomes so clever no trap can catch them. Surely you know where this plant grows?" The wolf blinked. He had never heard of such a plant, but he did not want to appear ignorant. "Of course," he declared, though sweat prickled under his fur. "It grows near the old hollow log by the northern stream." The rabbit tilted her head. "Strange, because my grandmother said it blooms only beneath the tallest oak on the eastern ridge." The wolf's tail twitched. Yes, that too," he stammered. "There are two places." The rabbit's eyes glittered with understanding. "But then, wise sage, what color are its flowers?" "Blue." The wolf lied quickly. The rabbit's ears perked higher. "So odd. My grandmother said they were white." By now, the other animals had gathered again, listening closely. The rabbit stood tall on her hind legs. "O creatures of the forest," she called, her voice clear and strong. "Do you see? This sage knows nothing. He is no wise elder. He is the hungry wolf who prowls our paths." Gasps rose from the crowd. The squirrel dropped his pine cone. The hedgehog backed away trembling. The wolf snarled and bared his teeth, but the animals had already scattered into the trees. The rabbit hopped backward, never turning her gaze from his furious face. Left alone and humiliated, the wolf's hunger burned hotter than ever. But no creature dared trust him again. From that day forward, the clearing grew silent, and the rock lay bare. The animals hid their food well and shared their stories of the wolf's lies, so none would be tricked again. The clever rabbit became known as the forest's true sage, respected not for pretending to know everything, but for knowing how to see the truth. Moral intelligence outwits deceit.